Fala galera, tudo em paz com vocês? Sejam todos muito bem-vindos. Tielo Emerson aqui, começo mais um vídeo do canal Metal Musicast, agora trazendo uma entrevista para vocês, uma entrevista com o guitarrista de uma banda que eu curto demais. Estou falando da banda Martyr, banda holandesa de heavy metal tradicional. Nós vamos começar a falar com ele agora. Eu peço que vocês acompanhem a entrevista em inglês, tá bom? E depois, no futuro aí, quem sabe eu coloco uma legenda ou pelo menos faço um outro vídeo para quem não tem um inglês assim que consiga acompanhar razoavelmente. Eu faço um outro vídeo como eu fiz do Udo. Eu faço um vídeo explicando e contando o que a gente vem trocando ideia aqui, beleza? E aproveitem para se inscrever no canal, porque eu preciso da inscrição de vocês para fortalecer cada vez mais o Metal Musicast e ter cada vez mais a consideração dos músicos do mundo todo para trazer para vocês esses bate-papos muito interessantes. Então eu vou chamar agora, vamos começar, vou colocar aqui na tela o Rick Bouwman, vamos lá, dá licença aqui. Hi, Mr. Rick Bouwman. Thanks for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Great, I'm great. I'm great talking to you. It's a great pleasure for me.
It's a pleasure for me too.
Rick, are you in Germany right now in Gelsenkirche for the ROCK AM BAHNWERK festival?
Yeah, we're playing tomorrow, so it's not really so far away from here. So we are leaving tomorrow in the afternoon for Germany. We're doing the headlining of that ROCK AM BAHNWERK show, so we are on stage at 10 in the evening. So we have time. So I leave tomorrow.
Great. And are you in tour in an European tour?
No, we just do single shows. So most of them are in the weekends right now. This is the first show that we're doing since a while in Germany. And after this one, we will do some more shows in the Netherlands, then go back to Belgium and Germany. And so it's not a complete tour, but there are single shows all over the country, Germany, Belgium, and mainly.
Great. And Rick, first of all, congratulations by the new album,
Thank you very much.
Metalhead.
Yeah.
It's a killer album. Great. Congratulations. And what is the fans' response? Can you talk about the response of the audience about this brand new record?
Yeah, we have a lot of response, and it's almost unbelievable how much the album is loved by the fans, by the old fans that know Martyr already since the early 80s, but also by the new fans that listen to this new album, Planet Metalhead. It has very great, amazing, good feedback from all over the world. So we're very happy with the response from the fans, from the press, from radio, from magazines, everywhere. We have great critics, great feedback, great reviews. We are very happy with how the people like the album.
And that's a great album. Let me show the cover.
Yeah.
Okay, the booklet, and here are the lyrics, and where are you? Your picture, Rick Bouwman and his mates. And Rick, how would you describe this brand new album to someone who doesn't know Martyr band?
Yes, I think it's if you like heavy metal, you will like this album. It's a pure heavy metal album. It has a heavy metal artwork, which you just saw. All songs are metal. The titles are metal. The title of the album is Planet Metalhead, and we chose that especially because it's a pure fucking heavy metal album, and that's what we wanted to write when we were writing this album. And song titles like Raise Your Horns Unite, Demon Hammer, Metal Overdrive. It's pure heavy metal. When you pick it up from the shelves in your local record store, for example, you look at it, you look at the titles, this is heavy metal. And that's what we wanted to bring to the people right now with this new album. Pure heavy metal.
Yeah, I agree. Pure heavy metal. And the album starts with three killer tracks: Razor Horns United, Demon Hammer,
Mhm.
Children of the Night, great started. It's a killer beginning, and then came Fire of Rebellions, and it is melodic track. Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
agree?
It's a
And yes,
little less speed metal maybe than the first three ones that you mentioned, but it's got a pounding bass drum underneath it, you know. So it's just banging your head with Fire of Rebellions. And the nice thing with Fire of Rebellions as well is that we had 100 Martyr fans from all over the world that we invited to shout the word war, because the song is about a metal war. It's not about a real war like is happening right now in Ukraine, for example, because that's not what we want. That's not what we like. Of course, nobody likes that. But this is about a metal war that we as a community are fighting for heavy metal. That's what it's about. And 100 Martyr fans from all over the world, they filmed themselves with their smartphones, shouted the word war, and we used the sound for the song on the album and the video for the video clip that you can also watch on YouTube, of course. It's
great
great.
and
Yeah.
great. And this album was released in Brazil by Classic Metal Records, né?
Yes.
Classic Metal.
Excellent. We are
Yeah,
very happy with that. So the Brazilian fans, but also fans from South America, they can easily get access to the album right now. So that's what we really love. We want everybody to hear the album.
and what about the Classic Metal Records work, Patricia Vera and Dennis Zuliano? And what do you can talk about their work?
They already released or they distributed the previous albums live in Japan and UN Next as well for us. And I met Dennis and Patricia here in the Netherlands at a record fair in Utrecht. It's my hometown. And we met and we went out together to a metal festival near my hometown as well. So we had already a sort of relationship before Planet Metalhead was also licensed by them to release in Brazil. So there
Great,
are great people. They're great to talk with. They're great to work with as well. Very nice, very gentle, easygoing. That's the kind of people that I love.
great. I agree. Quite interesting. And talking about the influences of your way to play guitar, and can we can we say that Judas Priest is a great influence for you and in general for Martyr band?
Yeah, Judas Priest, but also main influences from Martyr when we started in the early 80s, because this year is our 40 years anniversary, right? We have been established in 1982. But when we started, it was mainly US metal, but also, of course, new wave of British heavy metal, Priest, Iron Maiden. But the main influence is the Japanese metal bands like Loudness, X-Ray, Fala, those kind of bands, especially Loudness, that influenced us the most. Yeah.
Wow, quite
But
interesting.
Priest, of course, is amazing, great band. And I think when you listen to this album, you will find and hear influences from more kinds of metal, you know, maybe a bit of Priest here, maybe a bit of thrash metal there, maybe a bit of classic rock there as well. So I think a lot of influences are in this album that you can hear.
Uh, Talking about the track "Wings in a Darkened Soul,"
Mhm.
it's a power ballad, and
Yeah.
can we talk about influence of Queen's Reich? Is it correct or
I
not?
think why you mentioned Queensrÿche is mainly because of Rob, the singer, because the Wings in the Dark and Soul is a song which was completely written by Rob. So when we recorded this album, the idea was to record 9 songs. But in the end, when we recorded it, Rob came with Wings in the Dark and Soul, and he said, "I have a great idea to make the album even more, give it more variety than it already has. I have this song, it's called Wings in the Dark and Soul. Let's record it and put it on the album as well." And Rob's voice is, especially I think in this song, and it is one of his influences as well. is like Geoff Tate. He can sing like Geoff Tate, but he can also sing like Dio, but he can also sing like Paul Di'Anno, for example. And I think all those styles you can also hear in this album. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, it's a great mix of great singers.
Yeah.
Quite interesting.
It
And
was funny when we recorded, this album, and we did like, for example, a song like Demon Hammer or something. Then Rob was in the studio and said, "All right, let Dio come into me," that kind of things. And then he had that
yes,
voice, So that was fun.
yes, I got it. And your riffs are killer riffs, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. It's
Thanks.
amazing, especially in Demon Hammer. And of course, it's a great album and with great riffs. Are the riffs the main part of the writing work for Martyr?
No, I think riffs are just a part of it as well. The riffs are great, the guitar work, not only from me, but also from Jeffrey Maas, the other guitar player. Great work. But it's the complete song that the complete arrangement that makes the song so good. It's not only the riffs, the drumming is pounding, it's beating his drums hard. The bass playing is good, and the singing is excellent. So it's combining all those ingredients, which makes I think the songs on Planet Metalhead. So every part needs to be great, and that's why we took a lot of time to record it. It took us like 1.5 years to record this album, but the songwriting we did already before that. So Rob especially had great input for this album and put a lot of ideas on the table. And Rob and I arranged those ideas, then gave it to the other guys. They arranged their own parts, the bass and the drums, etc. Gave it back to us, and we rearranged and we sent it again to the others, and etc. Till the song was complete, and then recorded it song by song. So we first finished the complete song. When it was finished, mixed and mastered it, and then recorded the other one as well. So it was a different process than we did all the previous albums. But I think when I look back at it, I really enjoyed doing it this way, because you get immediately results. You're on the right path with this album, and it gives a lot of inspirations to continue with the next song and make that even better than the previous one. And I think that that set the bar so high for this album, and I think we succeeded in that one. I think it's the best Martyr album we released so far, myself.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great work, and there are a wide variety of heavy metal.
Yeah, yeah,
It's at the end of the day, it's a heavy metal album, but there are a dynamic
yeah, yeah,
variety of
yeah,
influences.
correct.
It's
I'm
quite
glad that
interesting.
you recognize it, because that's what we wanted. We wanted it that way. Yeah, you have a lot of variety. When you play it, you can put it on repeat and again and again. It isn't boring, and
Yes,
that's what we
great.
wanted to achieve with this album. Yeah, thanks.
It's a great album. I agree. And talking about new wave of British heavy metal, what connection does the Martyr band have with the Jaguar band? Jaguar, the Dutch connection, Jaguar band.
You already mentioned it. It's a Dutch connection. That's what we have
Yeah.
with Jaguar. Well, we played several times with Jaguar. When they came over, for example, to the Netherlands, we played with them a couple of shows. But me and especially Gary Pepperett have a great connection during the years that we build up a friendship. And sometimes I'm a guest guitar player at one of the shows. I've been to south of France, to the UK, to Germany, here in the Netherlands, and then I play 2 songs with them as a sort of special guest on stage. Dutch Connection, of course, or X Crazy. So those songs, sometimes I play with them when they play here, or or I ask them if I can join them or stuff like that. So we are very close. There are such great guys, such fun to play with and to be around with. And yeah, well, you know, their albums are classic new wave of British heavy metal albums. So what can you say? The great band, great people.
Yes. And do you know that Gary Pepper played with James Hetfield
Yeah,
long time?
I saw that video. I was really jealous.
And
You
James
know, that
Hetfield
connection. So
and James Hetfield said that Dutch Connection is his favorite song, his
awesome.
favorite Jaguar song.
Yeah. It's my favorite too. Yeah. I saw it. I saw the video, and oh man, that was awesome. I think Gary was a little bit nervous, but it was really fun to see. But Gary played it in his own, you know, style that he is, I think, famous for. You know, yeah, I
and
love that guy. So yeah,
and James Hetfield was headbanging and
yeah. I saw it. Yeah,
yeah,
I, he went
great.
crazy.
And talking about Martyr again, Martyr released the two classic albums, For the Universe at
Yeah,
85 and Darkness at Time's Edges 86, yeah?
yeah, correct.
And why the band splitted after?
Yeah, it's maybe a long story, but I will keep it short. After those two albums that were quite successful internationally, especially in the underground scene, we continued with new management, and we continued with searching for a new record label as well. And you have to imagine that during those days, I think 87 something, bands like Europe, Bon Jovi, you know, went very big with hits like Final Countdown and hits from Bon Jovi, etc., that were all over the radio. So when we and our management visited some major record labels, they wanted us to also go a little bit more into that direction, which was not our style, you know, that we liked the most. We respected, of course, those bands, but it was not really our style. We were a heavy metal band, but you know, we were young kids. We were when we started Martyr, we were average age like 16. So we were very young kids. We listened to those major record labels. We tried to record a few demo tapes, which were a little bit more commercial, but it wasn't really in our hearts, you know. And in the end, the major labels didn't sign us. And then, you know, something I think broke within the band, and everybody went a little bit, his own way, quit the band, and went there to achieve their own musical goals. So that was sort of the end of Martyr. It wasn't really the end because we reunited in 2001 for one show, Heavy Metal Maniacs Festival, and then really reunited in 2005 to do Keep It True and Headbangers Open Air, which are really famous festivals here in Europe. So you better can say we went to sleep for like 17 years. Yeah.
Yes, and what do you remember about the record sessions of the album Fear of the Universe?
Yeah, well, you know, when we came back together again in 2005, there were some re-releases of For the Universe and Darkness at Time's Edge. And there was a label in the Netherlands, Rusty Cage Records, that had a sub-label for Dutch cult classic releases, and they wanted Martyr For the Universe to be re-released again as well. But we already did that a couple of times, so we said, no, we done that, and that's nothing new. But they kept pushing us, and then we said, okay, let's do it, but let's bring one more new song to that album. So we wrote one song, we wrote two songs, and in the end we wrote 5 songs, went into the studio and made it a double CD. And that was Fear. And you know, the new songs on Fear were the first new songs that we wrote with Martyr in a long time. So we were, how do you call it? Re-innovating ourselves, so to say, and to make new music. And that was the first time that we wrote new music with Martyr since 1987, 88. So it was like almost 20 years later. But it was very a good experience to write new songs and find each other again in writing music, arranging music, and the recording process, and releasing the albums. And from that album on, we continued with only writing new songs and released more albums, of course.
Great. And just a curiosity, Rick.
Hmm?
At 80s, did you heard something about the Brazilian music, especially on the heavy metal scene?
Yeah, well, in the 80s there was no internet, right? So that was difficult. You had magazines, of course. So the only thing where we heard the music from other countries about was in your local record store, because it was advised by your friends, or the guy that owned the store had it and said, "Oh, this is something for you. Listen to it." Or in the magazines, like Rock magazine, for example, that mentioned about bands from other countries. So it was not that much. We had one radio show as well here in the Netherlands, 1 hour per week on local radio, what played rock, heavy metal. So it was not that much, to be honest.
And right now, nowadays, uh, do you like or do you know some bands from Brazil?
Not too many, to be honest, as well. Yeah, I read about it, and Angra, or those bands that I know, and Sepultura, of course. The more famous bands. But I'm also always interested in the underground scene and in the unknown bands. So I visit a friend of mine who has a record store, and I let him advise always. Do you have some new bands that I need to discover, and those kind of things. So, but not really the Brazilian bands that are recommended to me at this moment. But I will ask for it. I will make sure to get more information about it and see
Yeah,
what's there that really can interest me. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
curious.
I will send to you.
I know bands from Brazil, but mainly they are the well-known bands. Yeah, like everybody knows them.
I got it. I got it. Um, I will send to you some
Send me some
links,
tips,
some links to
links. Yeah,
Brazilian bands. Okay.
to discover more.
And another curiosity, at 90s, there was a venue in Brazil, in São Paulo, Brazil, called Dynamo or Dynamo, and its owner was Eric de Haas, a
Ah,
Dutch guy, from the Dynamo, from the
from
football
Eindhoven
team,
Dynamo.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dynamo, yeah.
And that's a
We
really
we say,
famous
we
club.
say Dynamo in Brazil, yeah, Dynamo,
We say that.
and it was a great place, but underground, an underground venue, but it was great. I saw a lot of bands, Brazilian bands,
Oh,
and
cool. Is it still there, or is it now
no,
gone?
no,
It's
at
because
90s,
Dynamo
was-
here.
yeah,
We in English you say dynamo, in Dutch we say dynamo, but it's still
Dynamo,
there, and there is still a lot of heavy metal at
yeah,
Dynamo. They organize the big festivals like Dynamo Metal Fest, etc. as well. So that will be in August again, with bands like Testament playing, and we go there every year as Martyr, just to be, because we are metal fans. We're not only musicians, but we love heavy metal as well. So we go to a lot of shows to watch the bands and to have
yeah.
fun and enjoy the music. Yeah.
And when I was younger, I read about the Dynamo Festival and Art Shock Festival, Metallica playing at Art Shock Festival. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And Rick, what
Yes.
are the next plans for Martyr?
Tomorrow we're playing in Germany. That's the next plan. But we do mainly promotion now for the new album. So Planet Metalhead is out now. It's out in Brazil. We do a lot of interviews like this one, and for magazines or for YouTube channels, heavy metal channels, etc. We do a lot of live shows, especially festivals during the summer. We will go to Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, of course, and the plans are to release a vinyl as well. So that will be out, we expect, late August, and we will go on the road. But also plans are to write new songs, maybe release maybe an EP later on as well. and we like to go to different countries than we already have been. We have played all over Europe, but we also played a couple of times in Japan already. We toured in Japan a couple of times. We recorded a live album there, released a live album live in Japan. But I think it's time for us now to go to South America. So we like to go to your country, of course, Brazil, but also Chile, Bolivia, etc., etc., etc. Because we heard that the fans are really crazy metalheads that really like the old school 80s metal style. And I think Martyr would be a perfect fit to tour in South America. So we're looking out for that one, people that can help us, promote us, book us, that can mention or mean something for us to be able to do some festivals or some shows there. That's our goal for now.
Great, great. And once again, congratulations by the new album, Planet Metalhead. And thank you very much for taking your time to talk to me, to Metal Music Cast. And feel free to send a message to Brazilian fans, please.
Yeah, you know what I would like to thank really is all Brazilian fans that support us already for now 40 years, 40 years of Martyr, 40 years Dutch metal legends, and the continuous support from all over the world, but also from Brazil has always been amazing. We are very happy that the album is now easily available in Brazil for all the fans as well. Check it out, listen to it, buy it, duplicate it. I don't care. As long as you listen to the music, like the music, be in touch with Martyr, write to us, join us on Facebook, write us an email. We always respond to all our fans when we have the time, but we always do. We are really close to the fans, so please connect with us, follow us on our Insta, on our Facebook, on our socials. And we will be in touch and we'd like to come to you.
Great, great. And when Martyr plays in Brazil, I will be there in the front row, screaming and
Yeah.
and just excuse me, I will talk in Portuguese to translate a little bit to the Brazilian public, Brazilian audience, ok?
Yes.
Galera, tô falando aqui com o Rick Bouwman do Martyr e é o que ele deixou aqui como mensagem final. Temos aqui o álbum em lançamento nacional pela Classic Metal Records. Excelente trabalho desse selo que vem lançando muitas bandas no Brasil. Preço de nacional, galera. Paguei alguns dias, mas tá ainda que eu vi no site, R$38. Não tem porquê, se você tem condições, não conhecer essa banda. Vocês sabem que eu gosto muito de bandas grandes como Iron Maiden, Metallica, as que estão no mainstream, mas eu não deixo de apoiar e curtir o underground. E essa banda holandesa que vem lá dos anos 80, já faz 40 anos agora, é sensacional, heavy metal da melhor qualidade. Eu digo a vocês, procurem aí nas plataformas digitais, vejam quem tem condições de comprar, compre, porque você está levando para casa um baita álbum de heavy metal tradicional, com muita influência do metal oitentista, Judas Priest, Dio, muita coisa boa. E o Rick está conversando aqui com a gente e disse, façam o que vocês quiserem para conseguir ouvir, mas ouçam, e em breve ele está fazendo o possível para ter um show aqui no Brasil. Amanhã tem show do Martyr lá na Alemanha, em Gelsenkirche. A gente vai poder ver pela internet. E eu conversei com o Rick Bouwman. Rick, thank you so much. You're a great guy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
See ya. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.